Alright, next bit. As you can see here, I've cleaned and degreased the inside of these bores, and these three here have yet to be painted. These three here I have started to paint in Gliptol. I kept calling it Gyprol, it's Gliptol. This is paint for inside of the engine. It helps the oil flow so that when the oil is charging around in here, it gets down to the oil pan quicker. Now, I've got the paint first coat done, and I've got to flip the engine over once I've done the other three bores so that I can paint from above. It's difficult to paint in a hole. And you know, you can see I've got paint on places where there shouldn't be paint, and I will be dealing with that. Some has even got into the bores. Again, it doesn't matter because I will be dealing with it. And especially once I've got to reach a brush through down the bore and try and paint it, I'm going to be getting paint in places I really don't want it. Let me just show you in here, hopefully slightly better now with this light. And it's nice and shiny, and that's how it should be. And well, hopefully once we continue with this, I'll be able to get this nice and cleaned up and look very presentable. And I also will be doing the front here. One thing, if you guys do ever decide to do this, you can probably hear the fan going. This stuff stinks. I am wearing a breathing mask when I put this on. It's something you really should do. The fumes out of this are potent, to say the least. Alright, there we are. That's it for the moment. We'll give you the next view when it's all painted, at least one coat, and then maybe a final coat once I've cleaned it all up. Alright, now I have painted the insides of all the bores. There are what my father used to describe as a few holidays. In other words, areas I've missed. I will be turning the engine upside down. Well, it's already upside down. I'll be turning it the other way up so that I can reach the areas I couldn't see, with putting my hand down through the piston bore with the paintbrush. So that's going to be fun. Once this has dried, I can't do it now because if I do, it's just going to be a complete mess, or I'm going to be a complete mess. So I've done that area there. I've also done here where the timing gear goes, and yes, there is a lot of cleanup to do. It's going to take a while to get it where I need to make sure I get it and clean everything up, but I'm a firm believer that it's well worth it. One thing I'm not sure about is these areas here where the crank rests. I don't know if it actually touches that. If it doesn't, I'll leave the paint on there, and if it does, then I will remove the paint. This particular one here, which is where the thrust washer goes, then it will definitely be touching there, so I will definitely be cleaning that off, and also this one here, which is why you see it's less painted, shall we say, for want of a better word. And then I got to deal with all the little holidays. Alright, that's it for the moment. After I've done that and cleaned it all up, then I'll be getting onto the outside of the block. As you can see, a little bit of surface rust. I'll be attacking that with a wheel or two. This side I've already had a go at, and as you can see, it's coming up quite nicely. I've got a lot more to do on it. By Christ, doesn't the dust fly everywhere. And one thing I am going to do, which some people will cringe at, is the Jaguar and the 3.8 litre. The block will be black. I'm going to do that in red. So it's going to say Jaguar 3.8 litre in red. Not sure about these yet, whether I'll do those or not. That may be a little excessive. And what I do like is this plug is brass. And I'd kind of like to have that shiny, but that may just be me being a little stupid. And you don't have to agree with me. Alright, that's it for tonight. So, as I've said before, it's a good night from me, and it's a good night from him. Alright, this is going to be a little before and after. I'm just about to attempt to start cleaning some of this rust and crap off the side of the block in preparation for painting it. What I intend to use, excuse me, is this little beastie here. Little Harbour Freight Special. Hopefully it's going to be able to get into these grooves and under here, and then for these areas here perhaps turn it on its side and maybe even use a different style of one. So let's see how this goes, and keep your fingers crossed for me. I'm not going to show you me doing it because it's awfully dusty and I don't want to get my camera dusty, and I've got to put a mask on as well. Alright, this is just after giving it a bash for a few minutes, and as you can see it's coming up pretty well. Obviously lots of little corners I need to get into, and then I blew it off with an air gun. And one thing I have done, and you guys should also do if you have a compressor, is blowing air through all of these waterways in every hole you can find. I did it here in all of these waterways, through every stud hole, around the front here, did it in those, did it down each of these holes here on the where the bearings are, every one of these holes, everything, every hole I could find, I put air in without touching my toes. So just a little something you guys should be aware of. That's a good idea to do. It cleans out any of the crap, and you need eye protection and a mask when you're doing this, because believe me, you'll be surprised the amount of stuff that comes out. Alright, on to the next section. Alright, just to give you a little bit of extra, as you can see now it's getting nice and shiny. This is the second coat I've put on, and it has yet to dry. The first one kind of seals everything. Down here where I had to do inside the bores, very difficult to get to, I must admit. So I'll just do the best I can and figure, well, what I can't get, I can't get. I had to put it on a little thick from up here to try and get down into those areas, and as you can see I've still got a couple of areas I've missed, which I will be going back and trying to do again. So just wanted to show you that, and also show you the product. I don't know if I did, and if I did I do apologise. This is the stuff, Glyptol 1201 red enamel, enamel insulating paint. It's great stuff. Used it before. It does say, oh, you must thin this with Glyptol blah blah blah. Sorry guys, no. Normal cellulose thinners cleans your brushes. Alright, that's it for this section. When I get the final coats on and clean it up, I will then show you again so that you can see that I do finish the job when I start it. Little side video of the engine rebuild. This is my valve spring compressor, and totally wrong for the XK engine type. So I got myself a piece of pipe, cut 2 pieces out of it, and this should, in theory, be able to take the valves out. I'm going to make up a couple of pieces like this, so this will be in there, and then in theory that should go down on the valves and I'll be able to get to the collets through here. That's the theory. I don't want to destroy this valve compressor in case I need it for other vehicles, so I'll just be making up some steel to go across here and weld this, and then screwed these pieces into the top here. So fingers crossed for me, guys, and hopefully I can make this. It's fun. I enjoy trying to do things like this.